What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and this is going to be my banner breakdown of the new ninja banner for this year. And we have got Ninja Tharja. I did not expect her whatsoever, and she is a red mage cavalier, so she's going to be having the cavalry movement, and she does have a player phase brave effect. So here she's going to be attacking Loki. She does have good enough HP to use resonance that comes with her kit. So she's got Scroll of Curses. This is a 9 might player phase brave weapon, and it does have minus on special cooldown. It also has Canto distant travel built in, and this can max go up to Canto 3, so it's pretty good for retreating, and you don't really need something like Far Trace Echo to be run in her tune skill. And at start of turn, if her HP is at or above 25%, then she gives herself and the allies in 2 spaces the +6 attack and speed buff, the new Anathema status, and also the special charges status. So the Anathema status is basically speed, defense, resistance, hold, and even though this might not look all that insane compared to the support that Ninja Lucina has got, but still I think Anathema is really solid, because keep in mind that this is a visible status that you give to your own units, and this stacks up. So if you are in something like Ether Raid's defense and entire team gets Anathema, then it makes it pretty annoying for the enemy team to initiate on you, as you're going to be stacking up a ton of debuffs on the enemy. She also has the special charges status, so she's going to be able to trigger Luna on her brave attacks, and this also helps the other allies just trigger their specials, and of course does help on the Gale Force teams, even though she cannot Gale Force herself. And this also has Desperation built in, so she's going to be able to quad attack pretty easily because of her base 47 speed and the things that she gets out of this weapon. And she's going to be able to use the quad attack to just kill a lot of Shield Fighter Far Saviors, because Shield Fighter doesn't give you the damage reduction against the 4th hit of a brave attack. And that's why you'll see many of the Shield Fighter Far Saves run Hardy Bearing to make sure that units like Brave Bernie and now Ninja Tharja are just not able to quad attack them. But still, there is a tech with Brave Bernie where you could just run Miracle and then live the hit of something like Duo Fiorm and still kill her with the quad attack. That is going to be a bit harder for Ninja Tharja, because not only she has got the weapon strangle disadvantage, she doesn't really have any kind of way of getting true damage in her weapon like other units from this banner. And she also doesn't have Null Guard in her weapon, but these special charges could help you against that kind of tech with Miracle on her. But most of the time you're still going to be running any kind of damaging special. And if she initiates combat, or if the foe's HP is at or above 75%, then she's able to get extra attack and speed in the combat equal to 6 plus 20% of her visible speed. So she has got pretty high visible speed at 47, then it becomes 53 with the visible buffs of her weapon. So she's able to get basically plus 16 attack and speed. With this, she doesn't really get any kind of defense or resistance, because she's mainly going to be functioning as a player phase unit. Then she's got Luna as her special. Other specials could also be run, like Moonbow Ruptured Sky, and of course Miracle for Hardy Bearing Far Saviors. And she has got a new skill in Sly Swiss Sparrow. So this is an upgrade of Swiss Sparrow, which means that any unit in the game except for the staff units can run this. Staff units cannot have fun whatsoever, so I'm a bit sad for Mercedes. So this is going to be giving you +8 attack and speed in the combat in the player phase. It also gives you a guaranteed follow-up attack, and for many of the faster units, this could act as a pseudo half-null follow-up in a way. So if they're faster than the enemy, then this guaranteed follow-up attack can help them just bypass the foe follow-up denial. And if the number of bonus status active on unit is 2 or more, or if the number of penalty status active on foe is 2 or more, then you're able to get +5 true damage in the combat. And this also adds to your AoE special, which is really amazing, because we don't really see many of the true damage skills from like finish skills have their true damage added into the AoE special. So this does make it a bit more flexible, and I definitely like this as a player phase tool. Someone like Emblem Celica could definitely try and run this, but you're going to be needing some support with the visible status effects on yourself or the penalty on the enemy. And then she's got Resonance. Now keep in mind that Resonance is going to be one of the best skills for any kind of Cavalier or Flyer, because they don't have access to the damage reduction piercing, but you need to run the Squad Ace BS Sacred Seal on Ninja Tharja so that she could reach 50 HP. 50 HP is the minimum HP you need to aim for to get all of the effects out of the skill, so that is going to be the benchmark that you'll be trying to get. And then she's got Defense Res Smoke 3, which is a decent skill with the canto that she's got in her weapon. Now we have got Ninja Celine. She was in the silhouette. Of course, the floofy hair was her for sure. And she is a blue infantry mage this time, and she's come with the vengeance because she got outclassed really fast with her base version, with a lot of units getting that kind of healing that they could give to their allies. So she's got Scroll of Tease, and this gives you -1 special cooldown. This is an 8-might dual phase brave weapon. So unlike Tharja's, this can actually give you the brave effect even in the enemy phase. And she's got the aerial maneuvers warping. So this is not the Omni guidance of Attuned Micaiah. You're not going to be giving the support to your allies, but you yourself get the 2-space warping. So it's pretty good because she is an infantry unit. And then at sort of enemy phase, she's going to be healing up 10 HP to herself and the allies in 3 spaces. And just like Attuned Micaiah, she can also cleanse any kind of penalties on those allies and herself, and also gets rid of 2 penalty status effects. It is going to be functioning the same as the priority list of Attuned Micaiah's cleansing. So Panic is going to be at the very top along with Exposure, and then something like End Action status of Duo Leon is going to be all the way at the end, and even Frozen status of Summer Reed. So this kind of cleansing is always really helpful for any kind of tank, and she can just run Breath of Life as well in her slot C and kind of give the cleansing support to any kind of tank. But Attuned Micaiah has got even more things, and then it also gives you +4 speed and resistance in the combat to those allies in 3 spaces, and they also heal up 10 HP after their combat. So they get a lot of healing first at the start of enemy phase and then after their combat. So this is going to be helping you stay in the range of many of your skills. And for her own combat, if she initiates combat or if she's within 3 spaces of an ally, then she's able to get extra stats depending on 15% of her visible speed with +5. So she's able to get around Omni +13 or even 14 with the speed stat that she has got. It is base 47. It doesn't really have a super boon though. Instead, she has got an attack super boon, which does help with a brave weapon. And she's got a good amount of true damage, which is going to be depending on 6 multiplied by the number of allies with HP above half in the combat. So this is not really all that hard to do, honestly, because she has got the healing, and then she's able to get the healing for herself after the combat. So I see her as a side grade to Attuned Micaiah in Aether Raid's offense for tanking, for the support, because you could run Breath of Life. I don't really think that Ploy skill is needed that much because then you're going to be facing Freyr, who can just cleanse it in the Aster season. But yeah, for the light season, Attuned Micaiah can not only give you the debuffs, but also run Breath of Life 4 and then give that support. And I don't think that Celine is going to be that relevant for Summoner Duels. Honestly, maybe for Summoner Duels S if you want to have, another unit to cleanse. But Attuned Micaiah is still going to be the superior unit, all things considered. And Celine here, unfortunately, doesn't come with Flare, which would have been nice for even more healing. Instead, she has got Glacies, and she has come with the long-awaited Speed Resistance Tempo 4, which is going to be a really good skill for so many of the mages to get the tempo effect and also get the damage reduction piercing at the same time. She also has Speed Resistance Ploy 3, so this is another way that she can support her allies. And she does have really high resistance at base 45. So if you run stuff like Crystalline Water, you can easily stack up a lot of visible resistance and then support your allies. So that is Attuned Micaiah Jr. One advantage I guess she has over Attuned Micaiah is the fact that she can run infantry skills like Firm Canto Curb. So that could help you in Summoner Duels if you really want to have some kind of counter control supportive unit, which Attuned Micaiah would not be able to do. And then we have got Ninja Diamant. I'm not sure if he would like to be a ninja. He likes to fight fair, seeing his personal skill. So he's an Axe Infantry unit this time, and he is going to be having the extra movement with Endless Tempest. So he has got Bold, Kusari, Gamma, and this gives you -1 special cooldown. It's a dual phase Brave Axe with 11 might, and if he initiates combat or if he's within 2 spaces of an ally, then he's able to get the extra stats depending on 15% of his visible defense with +5. So again, Omni +13 or 14, depending on how you boost up his stats. And he also gets the true damage based on 25% of his defense so a good amount of true damage, and then he also gets the flat damage reduction based on 25% of his defense, and this is going to be stacking up with other flat damage reduction like Reopening or Lagoose Friend, which many people are going to be running him with. But keep in mind that Boulder, with his -1 special cooldown weapon, isn't going to be working with Lagoose Friend. You would need to run any kind of other special. So yeah, Reopening is also a pretty decent option. And just like base Diamant, he has got the Fair Fight effect where he disables a couple of things for both himself and the foe. So he completely disables any kind of damage reduction. So this is expected, and he already has the flat damage reduction, so that's not pierceable, but any kind of other pierceable damage reduction is going to be getting disabled. And he disables any kind of guaranteed follow-up attacks or follow-up attacks in general, and just like base Diamant, he increases the speed difference necessary for himself and the foe to make follow-up attack by 20 in the combat. So you basically need to have 25 or more than that for the speed to double. Ninja Diamant kind of reminds me of Hoshido Summer Lucia, because he barely tries to improve his niche by a little bit with what he did in his base version. This is going to be stacking with other effects like the Frozen status, and when Diamant initiates combat, he's going to be able to get -1 special cooldown jump before his first attack in the combat. So overall, unfortunately, Diamant is not going to be standing out that much as an Omni tank. The biggest improvement that he has got going for him is basically the fact that he has got a Brave effect, so that could help him a bit when it comes to ensuring the kills, but it is gonna be hard as a green unit in a meta with Brave Felix, who has the Hexblade effect. So you're gonna be getting targeted on your resistance unless you run something like Mystic Boost Sacred Seal, which is really needed nowadays. And if you want to go with some high defense Omni tank, then it's extremely hard to beat Attune Tamara, who also has a Frozen effect in her special. So she's just much better when it comes to tanking. So that is a bit annoying for the Diamant fans, because he doesn't even get any kind of preferred skill like Ivy or, you know, Tamara or even Alfred. I mean, he doesn't have the best preferred skill, but at least it was something. So yeah, that's unfortunately Diamant. He also introduces a new special in Boulder, which is basically a defense variant of Gust. So this could be run on units like, I guess, Diamant or Brave Dimitri. So they could try and get the unpierceable damage reduction and also get the special damage based on their defense. So it's kind of like Bonfire, but with the unpierceable damage reduction. Then just like his base version, he has got attack defense finish 4, and he comes with attack defense spiked wall. At first I thought maybe this was like Spiky Shield in Pokemon. Maybe it gave you some kind of damage against the enemy if they try to move in your direction. But nope, it's basically Bulwark skill that gives you true damage based on 15% of your greater defense or resistance, and it also gives you 7 flat damage reduction, and it also has Null Guard built in. So again, this is a pretty decent option if you don't really have stuff like Reopening or Lagoose Friend for your infantry unit. The 7 flat damage reduction with a bit of true damage does help. And then he has got Endless Tempest, which is an amazing slotsy skill, giving you the consistent +1 movement and also the Dowlol effect. So you completely ignore any kind of visible buffs of the enemies, and we know how insane Brave Felix is with that. The skill is not only good offensively with the special jumping that Diamant gets, but even in the enemy phase, just for ignoring any kind of visible buffs. So that is going to be Diamant. Not that much different from his base version, and he definitely needed a lot more upgrades, honestly, to stand out in the meta that we're in right now, to function as an Omni tank. I do like the Brave effect though, and Boulder is going to be a skill that unfortunately Brave Dimitri is going to be missing in the holoforms. And then we have got the Star of the Banner and Duo Lucina with Chrom, and she's a ninja as a colorless bow cavalier. Being a cavalier could be a hindrance at times. If she was flyer or infantry, that would have been quite cracked, but in many cases actually being the cavalier with the extra movement can help you. So she has got Elise Ninja Bow, which is an 8-my dual phase brave weapon. It also has -1 special cooldown built in, so curved shot becomes a 1 cooldown special, and if she initiates combat or if she's within 2 space of an ally, then she's able to get extra stats depending on 15% of her visible speed added with 5. So again, Omni 13 or Omni 14 basically. And then she gets a lot of true damage. She basically gets true damage based on the X value, which is the number of bonus status active on herself and the number of penalty status active on the foe times 5, and this can go up to max 25 per hit, which is amazing for the damage output with a brave weapon like her, and the fact that she has got so many actions. So her combat is going to be quite good, and this is not going to be getting added to your AoE specials, which is expected. And then she also has the passive damage reduction piercing by 50%, so she doesn't really need Deadeye that badly, and she can function with Curve Shot. And then she has got Null Guard built in her weapon, so that no matter what, she could trigger Curve Shot again and again. And for that, she also gets the special jump -1 after she triggers her first special per combat. So basically with her weapon, you pre-charge Curve Shot, and then you trigger it on your first attack, and then on your brave hit, you also get another Curve Shot as you get the special jump. And then she has got Future Focus. Not only she brings in the Lucina stuff, but also a bit of duochrome stuff. So this is going to be swapping the places, and it also gives you an extra action once per turn, as it does with the other Lucinas. And after you have used this assist, you're going to be giving the Future Witness status and the Null Follow-up status to the allies in 2 spaces of both unit and the target after your assist use. And this also gives them the -1 special cooldown pulse. So Lucina herself can pre-charge her Curve Shot, and this is like duochrome support, but even more insane. So this is really useful on many of the Gale Force teams, even offensively, just for pre-charging your specials, like pre-charging something like Astra on Tune Micaiah with Emblem Art to make sure that she can deal with Duo Fiorm. So it could help a lot in summoner duels, in any kind of team really. And then the Future Witness status is a new one, which does so many things. The only thing it doesn't do is my taxes. So this gives you Canto 2, and that means you don't really have to run any kind of Fortray skill. And this also gives you +5 to all of these stats, and it also has the 7 flat damage reduction built in on foes first attacks, including the brave hits. And then just like Ashe, it does have the player phase scowl effect. So this can help you nuke better, but keep in mind that scowl effect isn't really going to be scowling the defensive specials like dual ice mirrors of Duo Fiorm. So while it's helpful, it does have its limitations, but this is only for the player phase and not for the enemy phase tanking. And this is the unconditional scowl effect, kind of like the Hush Spectrum, but this is only going to be there for the player phase. So this is a ridiculous assist, not just for Lucina, but also for the other allies with the support that it provides. And unlike Chroms, this doesn't inflict the isolation status on her, so she could again swap even though she's already gotten the extra action. Extra action is once per turn, and she does have her duo button to get another action. And she has got Curved Shot, which is going to be helping you get the unpierceable damage reduction. Then she's got Flared Sparrow, and she has got the new Snag variant in Speed Defense Detect. So this inflicts -4 speed and defense on the foe in the combat, and after your assist use, you are basically going to be inflicting the exposure on the closest foes in 5 spaces and then splashing it onto the foes that are in 2 spaces of them. And against any kind of exposure status enemy, you're going to be getting extra speed and defense debuff up to -5, and you also ignore any of their visible buffs to their speed and defense, which is really strong, as we have seen time and time again with these kinds of offensive units. So it's a pretty good skill with her assist. And then she has got even more utility in Shadow Shift, which lets you reposition a unit in your Canto movement, and she gets Canto out of her assist. And this is very strong on a unit like Lucina, who can already get so many actions. And because she's a duo unit, she has got a duo skill, which is always going to be working in her favor. And it's actually a bit better than the other ninja duo skills that we have seen. So here, as you can see with the special jump, she's able to hit the consecutive curved shot. And because of the nature of this weapon and the, quad attacking that you're able to get, she is going to be able to kill Duo Fiorm most likely. And even if she doesn't, again, she could use Miracle, because with the pulse effect that she has got in her assist, you can actually try and pre-charge Miracle to like 2 cooldown and then easily trigger it and then survive against a hardy bearing Duo Fiorm, if you're not able to kill her, of course. So that is always going to be a thing that she could do. And her duo skill is actually going to be giving her extraction even if she is not engaged in any kind of combat. And it also refreshes the usage of Canto if it has been triggered. So yeah, this is absurd with her assist. Just so many actions that she can do. And something like Summoner Duels, the action economy is going to be insane with this unit. And any kind of action economy unit in Summoner Duels is always worth summoning for. Because it just opens up so many options for your teams. And here, Lucina is really strong in the combat itself and provides so much support with her assist. And we're going to be getting Ninja Noire as our Tempest Trial free reward. She's going to be an infantry colorless dagger, and she has got an inheritable brave dagger in Giant Shuriken Plus, so this is going to be player phase brave weapon. It also has the full tempo effect built in, which is amazing. So if you don't have any kind of arcane dagger, then this is a really solid choice offensively. Of course, it does have a lower might, but still not bad for an inheritable weapon that many people have been waiting for so many years at this point. It also gives you +5 to all of your stats, and Ninja Noire is going to be having high speed at base 47 with a super boon, and she's got infantry flash at 4-star, which is whatever. And the new skills that her Tempest Trial brings are going to be Roused Attack Speed and also Attack Defense Prime 3. Now keep in mind that this is Prime 3 and not Prime 4, so you don't get the resistant counter close counter effect out of the version 3 of this. But still, I guess it could be helpful on some of the units that have a lot of visible status effects. Overall, this banner is quite strong, especially because of Lucina having so much action economy and absurd assists that she has got along with her duo skill. So she's going to be seen quite a lot. And then we've got Celine, who, like I said, could be used in Ether Raid's offense, but still, all things considered, Attune Micaiah is just going to be better unit overall. And unfortunately, Diamant gets the short end of the stick. We don't really have a 4-star focus of this banner, which is a bit disappointing. And I think that Diamant could have been the 4-star focus if they just gave him some kind of tier 3 version skills for his passives. And we have absurd free-to-play units like Marnie already. So I think Ninja Diamant would have been a pretty nice one as a 4-star focus that you could try and merge up. This banner is going to be lasting for a while, and the next new Heroes banner is going to be having a new Arcane Axe. And the first time we're going to be getting a 3rd arcane weapon. So that is something you can look forward to. And I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support. And you can click the link on the screen right now to check out my breakdown of the Restvalgir banner and also my Light Mythic tier list. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as the 4-star focus of this banner. So with that, so let's see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.